Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Many eyes are on the judiciary right now. The PEPT verdict. Nigerians are screaming and waiting. What is going on? Let the verdict come. 180 days have not yet elapsed. We still have grace period of till September 16, 17. But Nigerians are earnestly waiting. All the final written address have been made. What is stopping the judgment? While that is going on, there seem to be alliances going on behind the scene. Some few days back, the president of Kwankwaso and Atiku were seen together on closed-door meeting ahead of the tribunal verdict, and apparently there is something going on, and they seem to they are making moves to bring in PEPT in the case. The question is, what is going on and why? Number one, we're going to find out what it is. But before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Well, according to the news, gearing up for possibility as the country continues in transition process, the trio of Atiku Abubakar, Kwankwaso, and PEPT have begun to discuss the possibility of a merger. Now, with the ultimate goal of setting up a formidable party that can more effectively challenge the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, it was also learned that the meeting of these three political leaders, which has been going on for a while now, started with one between Atiku, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), and Kwankwaso, who was the presidential candidate of New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) at the last presidential election. Now, after the first leg of the meetings was adjourned successfully, another one between Obi, the presidential candidate of Labour Party (LP), and the face of the obedient movement, of course, and other critical elements in PDP started to take shape. Now, after the other two stakeholders agreed to bring him in, Now, the discussions, which were said to still be at the preliminary stages, had been hinged on two pillars. The first, according to insiders, that the three leaders have decided to wait and watch the outcome of the election petitions in court, which would determine the second leg of the decision should the court verdicts go south. Now, for instance, sources privy to some of the discussions hinted that the leaders were hopeful that the Presidential Election Tribunal will be just and fair. Now, enough to establish that the election that brought President Bola Tinubu to office could not stand any decent electoral test, and as such do the needful. But by this, the leaders were said to be hopeful that the tribunal would call for a re-election or a rerun, which would see them come together in a merger for the election and challenge Tinubu and APC in the second opportunity. However, if the tribunal decided otherwise, the leaders were said to be considering setting up a formidable party ahead of the 2027 general election, during which they plan to take over the reins of power from the ruling APC. A source said, and I quote, "The meeting started with Kwankwaso and Atiku, and they have agreed to bring PEPT in to set up a formidable opposition after the court cases. Although they have not got to the point of discussing who will lead the opposition, they're leaving it out for now till after the court cases. Now, after the court cases, they will plan and come together for a re-election or stand together ahead to fight the 2027 election battle. They are considering a formidable party comprising the PDP, Labour, and NNPP. That's PDP, Labour Party, and NNPP. But very quickly, this one is personal opinion now. Peter Obi have nothing to lose. He should not join. Peter Obi have the manpower. Peter Obi have the masses love. Organic, unpaid for. They did not sort it. This is just pure organic love. To the point that Peter Obi go to wedding and they'll be clapping for him. They'll be singing the lion, the conqueror, the everything is here. Unpaid for. Influencers came in. In fact, Peter Obi raised influencers, said that are enjoying a lot of freebies right now. Now, if he joins the party or a rerun or whatever it is they're trying to form a merger, okay, who will now be, they don't want to mention that part, who will now be the president? Remember, that's the same NNPC or Rabbi Kwankwaso that Peter Obi met the first time. Said, guy, you hold a lot of strength in the north, especially in Kano, which is one of the biggest, one of the three biggest states in Nigeria, Lagos, Rivers, and Kano. He refused. He said there's anybody that should be coming second. The VP shouldn't be him. It should be Peter Obi. That if Peter Obi can agree that he's more seasoned than Peter, what is Peter Obi bringing to the table? He's bringing the whole north. Peter Obi just bringing in a party, a movement that have no head. Fast forward, the result came out. They now realize that Peter Obi actually is the force, is the third force to be reckoned with. And even at that, many Nigerians still believe there's more to the election than what they are giving us. Now they're now bringing him in stylishly because they know that if any movement without Peter Obi, it go work, they work and they know it. And now they first of all agreed together, and now they want to bring Peter Obi in. Peter Obi, you know you are the one holding the team. You are the golden chick now. Chick, don't joke with the power you have. In fact, you are the one calling the shots. If when they had the power, let's do together, they said no, and now they're bringing you in. Don't go in. Leave it the way it is. If there will be a rerun, stay on your lane, because the truth of the matter is, you see these two guys, Atiku Abubakar, have been running this race since 30 years ago. Peter Obi, you coming in as the president will not work. I'm telling you the truth. So Peter Obi, if you know you want to be the president, because the only reason why Nigerians are following you is because they want you to be the president. There is no power in vice, so it is either the head or nothing. So if you know you will not be the president, don't enter any merger or any agreement. Allow them to do their thing. Let us even wait for the court verdict anyway. Why are we in a hurry? And if they want to do any merger, they already, former governor of Rivers State, so we can have PDP now is a carcass. Now we have PDAPC, of which Wike is one leg in APC, one leg in PDP. And the way he's running the PDP is as if it's the shadow of itself. In fact, we almost have a one-party system. It's only Labour Party, really, that's giving them fight for their power, which is in the tribunal. If you watch all the prayers they are praying, they will say all of their prayers, they don't want Peter Obi to enter, they don't want Labour Party to enter. And they're still putting insider information like the lies of Arambabi and Apapa to still work against Labour Party within Labour Party, despite the external forces. But the UBD movement have refused to let go. They have refused to budge. Now with that gives an inclination of how powerful Peter Obi is. I think he's humble about it. And don't forget, this is another thing. Rabbi Kwankwaso is another. Atiku is another. When they will run the thing, no matter what, when they pick their candidate, they want Peter Obi to be a vice. They will tell him, you calm down, now you are still young. So Peter Obi, choose your battles wisely. Know who you are aligning with. Just align with Nigerians and move on. That's what we'll wrap it up. What's your take on all this latest move